So that means that we are not to catch up. If you see the per capita income, now say India's per capita income is only 1/6 of China. And if you see US, then it is only say 5%, or we can say 1/20th of US. So we have a lot of catching up to be done. But if you see our performance in last few years, especially after 2000, in last 25 years, we have been able to increase our GDP 7 times. So if our GDP today is about say $4 trillion, so that means that in next 25 years we can easily make it 7 times. So that will make us very close to developed country. So these are the rough milestones which are given by our Government of India. By 2027, 5 trillion, and by 2047, 130 trillion. So we have already done in last 25 years. We have increased GDP by 7 times. Now the challenge is that in next coming say 22 years, we have to repeat that. So in last 20th century, these 4 countries, developing country to a developed country. Now, if you see this history of 2000 years, you will see that about say around say 1000 AD, before foreign invasion, India's GDP was about say 30 to 35% of the world. So what we are talking today is that reclaiming our position, which was there about 1000 years ago. What are the drivers of our economic growth? You know that service sector comprises about 50% and manufacturing about 17%. So we have to focus on these two sectors. If you see the global scenario at present, in manufacturing, China contributes about 30% to the manufacturing gross value addition of the world, but we contribute only 2.8%. In India is having manufacturing 70% of the GDP, China has 26%. Out of employment, in India, 11% people are in the manufacturing. In China, about say 29% are in manufacturing. So this shows that there is a huge scope to increase our contribution in these two sectors. What we manufacture? We manufacture basically, if you see this, mining and mineral, electronics, automobile, food, oil and gas. These are the 5 top sectors. Now, if you see the success story, that in last few years in India, mobile manufacturing has been a quite success. If you see about 10 years ago, there was not much of mobile manufacturing. Only 18,000 mobiles were being manufactured. Now, in 23-24, more than 4,10,000 crores of the value of the mobile phones were manufactured, and out of that, about say 30%, 1,30,000 crores were exported. Second is defense. So defense has increased about 3 times. Not only that, now India is now also recognized as a defense export country, like US, France, Germany. So 21,000 crore export was done in the 2024. So if you see the trade used to contribute only 16% in say 1990, before reforms. But after reform in last 35 years, now we are about say 50% of the GDP is being driven by the trade. So trade, services and manufacturing is our top priority. Now there is a scope. If you see India's share of world trade, exports we are only having 1.44% and imports only 2.12%. So in exports we have huge scope. So this is what we export. We export refined petroleum, diamonds, pharma. Where we export? US, UAE, Netherlands, Germany, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Middle East. So why MSME is important? Micro, small, medium, and the medium scale enterprises are very important because out of the manufacturing, 40% of the manufacturing happens in MSME, and about up to 49% of exports are done by MSMEs. Now in India we have 6.3 crores MSME, and they give job to about 11 crore people. Means one MSME gives roughly job to 2 people. So China, they create 16,000, 18,000 MSMEs per day, but we create only 1,000. So we have a huge potential. Now, for example, like Tripura has a lot of SAG members in our state, about 5 lakh. Now, in last say 20 years, we have given them a lot of support. Now, time has come to convert all these 5 lakh members into MSMEs. At present, there are only say 2 lakh MSMEs, active are only 45,000. So if we all decide, then we can convert these all 5 lakh women into MSME owners. Now, I was talking about say tier 2 and tier 3 cities. 50% urban population is living there, and out of say 4,000 industrial parks in the country, 1,500 are located there. So if you want to do good in manufacturing, we have to have a good industrial infrastructure, good logistics, ease of doing business is reforms, and skilling. So these are the 4 pillars. Now in India there are 4,000 industrial parks. If you see, there are 8 major regions like Ahmedabad, Baroda, Mumbai, Pune, Greater Hyderabad. In south we have Coimbatore, Thiruvananthapuram, Chennai, Bangalore, Vizag, Guntur, Gurgaon near Delhi, and in Punjab, Ludhiana, Ambala. These are the 8 hubs, and they are linked by the corridors. So now, Government of India is building a lot of corridors, like the Delhi Mumbai Industrial Corridor. Here, not only industries, but use railway projects, road projects, ports, logistics, skills, everything is being focused on these corridors. So, for example, Guwahati, Shillong, Silchar, Agartala, Samrum can be corridor. So, on that we have to plan that each and everything should be on this corridor. Okay. This is another Amritsar Kolkata corridor. So, everything is being planned there. So, the PM Gati Shakti, you must have heard about that PM Gati Shakti plan. That means we have to have a one corridor and plan everything on that. Don't disperse. We should not go at least say 30 to 40 kilometers away from this corridor. So, like say for example, this is from Maharashtra. So, successful industrial area should have what are the focus areas, like say having a city level vision. Every city should have a vision in what sector they want to become the best. Land should be given at an affordable price. There should be housing should be there, power supply should be there, and skilling and industrial infrastructure like say wastewater management, optical fiber. Now in logistics, now India is now ranking 38. Our plan is to increase and improve the ranking by say 25. So we should have a logistic action plan. In Tripura we had a logistic policy 2021, and you would be say happy to know that one Singapore-based company is planning to have logistic park in Agartala, and one more our own industrialist from Tripura, they are planning one in Dukli. So now logistics is also gaining lot of traction. Now if you see the reforms, ease of doing business on the right side, it's a constant to establish an industry. What are the improvements which are being done? Like say time wise, if you see best in the country is 21 days. Means in our country the best case is that in particular state in 21 days one can set up industry. Worst is 120 days. If you see document required, the best is only one document, maybe Aadhaar. That's it. Worst is 46 documents. Then steps involved in how many stages? Best is only 2 stages. Worst is 38 stages. So what we have to do, we have to now go into each and every say permission, license, inspection and reduce them. Next. So if you see this, the higher the pillar, the best is that service. Like say we are doing say good in credit, electricity, construction permit, registration of property. Those who are from revenue background, then it takes 144 days to register the contract property in the country. Enforcing contract is 163. Like starting a business is about 736 rank. This is the rank which is there in the out of say 200 countries. That means registration of property, 153 countries are doing better than India. So we have to make sure that each and everything improves. So ease of doing business, that you all know that there is a swagat in our state, single limit scheme, there is a dashboard, okay, and all these things are being done. Now, what are the international best practices? Risk-based regulation, like say, if you want to do a building permission, here we have to make a building plan, give to architect, then give to the urban local body, then they will approve, then fire clearance. But in Canada and Australia, like income tax return, they prepare their building plan and they say that we have complied, and they file it. That is risk-based. Risk goes to the owner. And if there is any doubt or any complaint, only then it is say check. So they pay the fees and they submit the plan. Like say in UK, for every new regulation, every new law of £1 say value, for example, you have to reduce the old laws of £2. They will not allow say any new law or any new license permission unless you reduce the other two. Argentina, there is a minister for deregulation. So in the US, under Donald Trump and Elon Musk, we are seeing that Department of Government Efficiency, they have target that out of say 7 trillion federal spending, they will reduce to about 2 trillion. Means they will reduce by 5 trillion. So these are the new waves of reforms in the world which are going on. If you see the skilling ecosystem, in India there are 15,000 ITIs, like Tripura has about 19 ITIs, about 3,800 polytechnics. And now there is a trend of connecting the ITIs and polytechnics with industry. Because there is a gap between the what trades are being taught, what skills are being provided, what industry wants. So in India, about say 4,800 MOUs have been signed for skilling. So if you see the best practices in the industry, let's say Maharashtra has a good infrastructure, let's say Karnataka has a cluster-based approach, like Bihar is giving say plug and play in textile sector. Tamil Nadu is focusing on giving good housing for the workers. Gujarat has a good ecosystem for startups. Odisha is doing in good in skilling. UP has a Nivesh Mitra for the time-bound clearance system. Like say Andhra gives a perpetual factories license, no need for renewal and no need for inspection. Like say Telangana has a TG I-Pass, where 100 documents were needed earlier, now only 10 are needed. So today I'll give some best practices. Like say Uttarakhand, what they have done, it is a small state of size of 3 times of our Tripura. But if you see the per capita, 2.6 lakh as compared to say 1.77, like say 1.5 times of our state, where their manufacturing sector contributes about say 46%. In our case, we have seen that earlier figure was 11%, but when we did checking, then we found that about 19% is our contribution. So we can double it. What they have done, if you see the map of Uttarakhand, on the plain areas they have focused. They know that industry cannot happen in the hilly areas. They have focused on the plain areas, say near Dehradun, Haridwar, Udham Singh Nagar, and just say 4 industries: pharma, automobile, say food park, and electronics. You name a best industry in the country, it is there. So we have to focus on very few sectors, and they have done a skill gap study, what industry wants, and they have done MOU with them, and industry is giving them the trainers, and skill development is giving only funds and arranging the modules, and after training these people are sent to industry. So like say with car technology, they are also working there, what we are doing in our state, and they are now working with Samsung, Maruti, Jaguar, with each and every industry. They have done say tie-up for the training. Now, Tamil Nadu, I will come to Tamil Nadu. So if you see, Chennai was their main industrial center earlier, but now they are making a case that all the 4 regions should prosper. So in the north region, still they have 43% of stage. Now, out of 38 districts, So 37 districts are having industrial parks. So about say 48,000 acres. So they have again within those they have, if you see right side, that in Krishnagiri they have focused electric vehicles. Ranipet they are focused on footwear. Trichy they are focusing on food park. Virudunagar, Varapati in textiles. Coimbatore they are focusing on the aerospace. So like that, each and every area they have given a theme. Now there are also private industrial parks there. So plug and play facilities are being put up. And most importantly, this site adjacent factory employees, that the employees should stay near the factories. They should not be needed to travel much. So live, work and enjoy. So this type of say accommodation is being provided and not by government. If you see here the 4 cases which are given, like say Tata Power, Tata Electronics, and other industries are being say given land to provide the residence for the workers. So this is also being done in the Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. So their vision is that not less than say 3 hours should be needed for transporting the goods from the industry to the port or to the airport. Now in Gujarat, so they are doing a lot of activity under single window scheme, but I would like to highlight say few things like say know your approval. That is, once you apply for a permission, like say passport, you must apply for passport. Once you apply for passport, you will get a message that it is submitted, it has gone to police, and you will get on this day and like that. So you can get this message in Gujarat. Second is that they have integrated the district level reforms in the single window portal, which we have not been able to do here. Now we'll start. And GIS based land bank, about say 24,000 hectares of land bank is in Gujarat. This is government as well as private. In private, if somebody wants to sell the land or lease out the land for industry or for services, they can register it. And then the investor will come and search and he will apply or he will meet the concerned person. So these are the some steps, like say deemed approval. See, once you apply for a industry and if that is allowed in that land or area, then you need not take permission. It is deemed to be approved. If that is permitted in that zone or in that law. Okay, so this is very near to what Canada and Australia are doing. So like Maharashtra, they have 300 industrial areas, and out of them 152 are in cooperative sector. Like say in our state also there are a lot of cooperatives, but they have not yet joined the industrial sector. So we can promote them, we can ask them at least a small manufacturing they can start. There are 31 say private parks and 2.5 lakh acres is land is in their possession and 1.2 lakh acres is under acquisition. Now if you see the areas, gems and jewelry, silver, floriculture, food parks, leather, electronics, textile, logistics. So if you see this map of Maharashtra, so if you see Tripura map also, you will find that a lot of highways are being done. So what they are doing is that they are planning their industries on the highways. Like say this is Bhiwandi on Mumbai Nagpur Expressway. Say the logistics parks in Bhiwandi. It is a 10 crore square feet. 2 lakh people work there. And 50,000 crores is the project. This is, I was telling, Mumbai Nagpur Expressway is not the road. It is the linkage of 18 industrial townships. 10 agro and food processing parks. So now this all Dharmanagar, Kailashar, Kovai, Kamalpur, we have to think about this. Like say Agartala, Udaipur, Sabarun, what we can do on this highway. So these are some of the actions that we have to take in this service and manufacturing, like reducing compliance burden. By February we have done it. We are the one of the very few states who have done say 400 reforms, 100% reforms by February. Then state acts. Now in every cabinet we are now doing ordinance that for reducing the compliance burden. The flexible land lease policy I was talking about, PM Gati Shakti. Then plug and play facilities we can do for rubber, we can do for bamboo, for IT we can do here, for food processing we can do here. And since we are in the district, serial number 6, implement district level reforms. Like say we had say I was telling you 400 reforms at state level. Now we will give you the district reform action plan, and by say December you have to do it. So that if somebody want to start from business, trade or any services manufacturing, that they will not face any difficulty. Then improve the state single windows system, the skill gap studies, then start an incubation center, then formulate city level economic vision. So at least up to subdivision, every town, every city should have a economic vision. What Sabru will do, what Amarpur will do, like that. Okay. So this you can read. Okay. Now very briefly I tell about services. Target is to increase services by GDP by 9 times. This is possible only if exports will increase 12 times. These figures I will share with you. Now the target is out of exports. Now how to increase the services from say 324 billion to 700 billion within the next 7 years. Now service sector gives about 30% jobs, but in developed economies this is up to 60%. So India can double the jobs in the service sectors. Okay, and our median age is only 28. Now if you see the infrastructure in our country, it is ready. Now we can really scale up in the services. Now what are the tier 1 cities suffering? They have huge pollution, like say Delhi, Mumbai. They are having say rising talent cost and rental cost. Office cost, rents or house rents are very high. There is overpopulation, there is urban migration, traffic jams are there. Compared to that, the tier 2 and tier 3 cities offer a best proposition. So now you will not be surprised if the top industrialists want to come to Assam, Tripura or Meghalaya, Sikkim. Okay, they will come because now they are getting say better environment, say better infrastructure and with a less cost. Next. Yeah, in say IT and ITS, from say 54 lakhs we can double the employment to about 1 crore. Now these are the setup, we are also working on that. You must be aware that one data center is already sanctioned for the Bharti Airtel in our Agartala, that all the data of Eastern India, that is Odisha, West Bengal, Assam, Northeast will be now say put up in Agartala. Like that now Nixie is doing one more data center. And there are 4 applications now. Once we get given the permission to these 2, 4 more data centers are there. So you will not be surprised that because of our third international internet gateway in Agartala after Chennai and Bombay, then Agartala becomes a data center hub in the next few years. So like that we have to work. Now, global capability sectors, big IT companies are only there in the tier 1 cities, but these are the emerging hubs. So we have to make sure that Agartala finds a place in this map very soon. Now these are the potential of startups. Like there are 130,000 startups in our country, and 50% of them are in tier 2 and tier 3. Like our state has our 126. Now we have started the startup policy in November. We have targeted 200 startups per year. These Zoho, the rural BPOs in small towns. Okay, this Genpact, again data center, data analytics in the smaller places. Earlier they went to Gurgaon, then they went to Jaipur, and now they went to Jaipur. So now they are moving because of less cost. Okay, tourism, so 13 crore jobs can be created in this. We have a lot of potential in our state. This is infrastructure for say tourism. The main thing is that we have to focus on the human resource for the tourism sector. Right from say airport up to say taxis, our say staff in the hotels, our guides, fooding, homestays and all that. So while the best practices in say tourism sector like say Rising Rajasthan, Goa, they are giving say tourism plus working space. Karnataka I will also show you in detail. Jammu Kashmir they are giving eco-mobility cards, digital museum, Nagaland, good quality homestays. Now, Karnataka is now focusing beyond Bangalore. Bangalore, we know that it is Silicon Valley of our country, but now they are focusing on, say, 6 other cities beyond Bangalore, and each and every town, like Mysuru, they are focused on cyber security, Bangalore on the fintech sector, okay, Hubli, Belgavi, on say startups. So what they are doing is that they are giving incentives to go beyond Bangalore. Like stamp duty exemption is being given, property tax reimbursement is being given. So like that, land subsidy is being given. So these are the some strategies and their impact. So in say graphical terms, in say a few years, that these are industries which have moved beyond Bangalore. So about say in this year they have shown that 165 industries moved with this policy beyond Bangalore. This is the employment. So